How can the Coalition justify aiming to remove 20% of people from receipt of Disability Living Allowance when the DWP say less than 1% are fraudulent? This means you're aiming to remove genuinely disabled people from a vital support, which also acts as a passport benefit to income support and housing benefit.
So these are really important issues, obviously. There's no intention at all to take away support from people who need it. If people have disabilities and therefore need the additional support from the state, must have it. But perhaps the best answer to your question is the practical answer that Malcolm Bruce, one of my MP colleagues, gave, who has a profoundly deaf daughter. He says that the current system is not respectful of his daughter. She's clearly profoundly deaf. Any objective test would show she was profoundly deaf. She would be very happy once every 5 years just to go and see somebody so that they can confirm that she is profoundly deaf. She therefore would be automatically entitled to the allowance. At the moment, there's a self-reporting system. It's not on the basis of an objective test. So it's hopefully a more dignified system for individuals. And then there are two other points. One is that this isn't an anti-fraud measure. I accept more or less the figures. I think the figures are that 2%, 2 in 100 claims at most are either fraudulent or are inaccurate because there's been some error. But the other thing that happens is, of course, that people's conditions change. And 4/5 of the claims, I think currently of the payments, 80%, 8 out of 10, are indefinite, so that they don't take account of any changing circumstances of the individual. And I know from surgeries here, when I see people, often people who improve, who may be really quite physically ill, someone had polio, for example, who I remember seeing, has found himself trapped in not being able to work and being on allowance. Actually, what he wants to do is get back to work. And so you have to give people the opportunity not to be, quotes, condemned for life, to be regarded as disabled and not able to work. So I hope there will be a really fair and reasonable response. It's about trying to make sure that the right people get the benefits, not at all about not helping people who are disabled and therefore need money to support them in their living.